Liv Morgan has made a heartbreaking admission about her WWE career, and it comes at a time where she is at top of her game. She's at the top of the mountain in WWE, and you would think this would be a time of celebration, and it is, but it's also a time for reflection for Liv Morgan, who has gone through absolute hell to get to this point. Now, we know that she was sidelined for a significant portion of 2025. She suffered a devastating shoulder injury that resulted in her undergoing surgery for it, canceling massive plans. Think about it. At the time, she was one half of the Women's Tag Team Champions. She was about to face Nikki Bella at Evolution 2, and then seemingly going on a massive run after that. Because I think she would have beat Nikki Bella. I think they would have positioned her as a top star, and I think she would have challenged for the Women's World title throughout the end of 2025. All that got mixed. She ultimately lost the Women's Tag Team Championships because Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez lost them. She obviously missed out on the Nikki Bella match, and then she had to wait and see her career be halted and put on the sidelines until it was Survivor Series, where she returned to a thunderous ovation, coming out there tricking all of us, acting like she was going to turn on Dominic Mysterio, align with John Cena. Oh no. She hit John Cena right in the nuts and then helped Dominic Mysterio reclaim his Intercontinental Championship. To take it one step further, she went and she won the Women's Royal Rumble. And now, seemingly, she's going to be facing Stephanie Valkyrie for the Women's World Championship at WrestleMania, and seemingly going to win it. But this all comes full circle. The reason I recap this is because I want you to understand the severity of the situation. June 16th, that will be a night that is burned into Liv Morgan's brain, as she suffered a separated shoulder while working Kairi Sane. Now, speaking with Takedown on SI, she admitted that she was not in a positive headspace while on the shelf. She said, yeah, I was pissed. I was mad. I was mad at my whole injury. I was mad the entire time. I feel like I got injured in a moment where I had multiple things going for me. I was really enjoying and loving what I was doing, so to have that taken away from me for an extended period of time, I was angry. I was quite literally angry the whole entire time I was recovering. Now, upon her return, Morgan has channeled that frustration into her performance, and she noted that the feeling of having her livelihood interrupted gave her an extra edge. She said, so I feel like I came back with a little bit of a chip on my shoulder just because I feel like my career was taken from me, and I did not appreciate that. Now, despite the difficulties, Morgan now views the injury as a necessary step in her journey to the main event of WrestleMania, as she believes that the time away ultimately paved the way for her historic Royal Rumble victory. She said, I have to settle on believing that it happened for a reason. So yes, I have to believe this happened for the greater good at the end of the day, even though I don't believe that whole entire time I was injured. I will settle on the injury happened so I could come back, finally win the Royal Rumble, finally headline WrestleMania and walk out as champion. Which one, I don't know, but walk out as champion nonetheless. So very interesting insight, very interesting into the way that Liv Morgan thinks, her thought process, and what she dealt with during this time while away on the shelf due to injury. I think you look at superstars, you look at celebrities, you look at athletes, anytime they suffer a major setback, I think we write it off as, oh, well, they're rich, they're famous, they're fine. And it's, no, it doesn't matter how much money in the world you have, it doesn't matter how famous you are, that impacts you on a personal level. We all get inside our own heads, and I think Liv Morgan is a perfect case in point on this. Of this is real life, this happens to everyone, and how you deal with that depends on the severity of your mindset and the way that you process things. Switching gears here, I want to talk about Matt Hardy, because he recently weighed in on the uncertainty surrounding the WrestleMania card following reports of Braun Breaker's hernia surgery, with Breaker's status for the event in question. Speculation has turned into how WWE will utilize Seth Rollins if their planned match cannot take place. Now, speaking on the Extreme Life with Matt Hardy, the former WWE star argued that Rollins should be included in the event regardless of his in-ring status due to his star power. He said, "It's wild. Seth was on such a good roll when all that stuff happened. Braun Breaker was starting to get on a roll too, and it made everything so wonky in their continuity of their story," which is unfortunate. Man, it just considering how young he is, if it wasn't a terrible hernia situation, I mean, it could have even been using this to kind of play it up, kind of like he's not going to be there, and then maybe he is. I think I would have had Seth there in some capacity because he's such a big star, and I think that you want to make that event as star-studded as possible. I mean, I would imagine now, too, you would agree whatever he has got take out of the Royal Rumble that would put all that heat on Seth, right? Would be Seth, supposedly, is how they would book it long term. Now, when asked specifically if he would hold Rollins off the show if Breakker could not compete, Hardy clarified his stance, emphasizing that Rollins' presence alone adds value to the show. He said, "I should have spoken more specifically just because I would have just had Seth appear in some capacity, even if it's not to wrestle, you know what I mean? I would have had him in there, do some sort of angle or story. He's such a big star. I think having his presence on Mania helps out." Clearly, having Seth Rollins at WrestleMania would be a significant addition. Seth Rollins is one of their top stars. He may not be the biggest drawing card, but Seth Rollins, to me, and people may get pissed off at this comparison, and if you do, I apologize, but it's just my opinion. Seth Rollins is a better version of Triple H. He's a slightly better promo, but not much. You don't really want long Seth Rollins promos. They kind of drown out, and they kind of just, yeah, they're just there. They're not over the top. They're not spectacular. They're not anything great. They're just there, right? If you look at his in-ring work, well, by far, I mean, I consider Triple H a good wrestler. I consider Seth Rollins a great wrestler. It's just the promos and his star power. Like, Seth has never been the guy. He's the guy that works with the guy. He's not the drawing card. He's helping. And that's fine. That's not a knock. I think people knock Triple H because obviously he married Stephanie McMahon and he's in power and yada, yada, yada. But I think the real reason people knock Triple H is because he thought he was better than everyone else, and he never was, right? He wasn't bigger than Rock or Austin. He wasn't bigger than Cena. He reminds me in a lot of ways of a Dave Bautista or a Randy Orton, where he was never the guy, but he worked with the guy, right? Orton was Cena, Batista was Cena, Batista was Taker, right? That's the way I look at Seth Rollins. Braun Breaker is the guy. He's going to be a bigger star than Seth. He has a better aura. He has a better presence. He has a better stature than Seth. So if you look at it from that standpoint, then it's like, oh, okay. All right, this is interesting, right? And so how they handle this, how they get through this, it's going to be very, very interesting. But if Braun can't work Mania, I don't agree with the idea that you rush Seth back. Don't rush him back. Let him do his thing. Let him heal up. Let him get better. Let him get fully recovered. And then when he's ready and when Braun's ready, then you bring them both back. And then you can work Backlash or whatever event you want to. Is it not meant for WrestleMania? Maybe, but it is what it is at this point.